It's semifinal week. Big week. Classic Candlepins from Amesbury, Massachusetts. I'm glad that you're back. Frank DeLuca is my partner. I'm Kyle Bruce, and this is awesome. I can't wait. Nikki McKeever making her TV debut, going against Deb Regan, who's won 2 matches in a row to reach this semifinal week. Tell our viewers a little bit about Nikki and what we should expect from her.
Nikki McKeever, this is her television debut. She bowls out of Peabody, and I know she also bowls in the Sunday Pro League up in New Hampshire at Wyndham. I've seen her bowl very, very well before. I have no doubts about Nikki. But Deb Regan, of course, will be a tough competitor for her.
Well, Deb's been around for a long time. It should be a great match and a good challenge for Nikki right out of the gate.
Sure.
And we look forward to talking with you in our post-match show right after our 3 strings of scratch candlepin bowling. Hope you enjoy the match, and we'll talk to you then. It's Saturday night. It's semifinal week. It's Classic Candlepins. And we are excited to have you here for the entire crew and my partner, Rich LIMONE. Frank DeLuca is somewhere lurking in the background there. He's the 3rd member of our broadcast team. And Rich, Nikki McKeever is here. She's our number 2 seed for this roll-off. And what can you tell us about her?
She's an exciting up-and-coming bowler. I mean, this is going to be a good test for her. She's going to be on the camera for the first time. So, I mean, it should be exciting to see. It's exciting for her. It's exciting for everybody. I'm sure you're excited.
That I am. I watched her warm up, and she throws a very nice ball. And, of course, she's facing Deb Regan, who's won 2 consecutive matches. The winner of this match faces our top seed, Tina Ward. And we look forward to this particular matchup right after this timeout.
And then from this angle, it all makes a star.
I'm a teacher. Let me tell you what I make. I make learning a privilege, not a chore.
Show up
And frustration, a tool, not an obstacle. I make working hard seem easy, and giving up impossible.
And then we're going to turn the lights and everybody look up.
I make an old subject feel like a fresh thought.
Finally won. What's your reaction gonna be? Yeah, exactly.
And unconventional methods
Okay, what else?
common.
This is their world.
There's nothing.
And then they die. Go ahead, go, go, go.
I'm a teacher. I make more.
Deb Regan will start our semifinal match here on Classic Candlepins. She's won 2 in a row, and she's looking to do it again.
And she wastes no time.
Brooklyn hit, but the 5-6-10, one of the more difficult spare leaves to convert.
Unless you're John Starner, of course.
That's true. You can do it with no wood. That's a nice bid there.
Almost.
Not much you can do with that.
She lost that one
away, and that'll be an 8-box to start the match. Deb is from Manchester, New Hampshire. The owner of a 191 high single. No luck. The 10 pin, that wood doesn't look that good though.
Gotta be high.
Always.
Always, indeed, yes.
Yes.
And, oof, oh, wow. That's unfortunate.
Clearly not high enough.
Yes. She takes care of that 10 pin for a 10 box, and we present our number 2 seed, Nikki McKeever. Ball breaking from right to left. She's off the head pin to start the match here on lane 7. Ball
breaking quite a bit. Winner of this match facing Tina Ward, who threw a 600 in the roll-off. And that's a 9-box to get it started. Break off the headpin here.
Nikki does most of her bowling at what some people consider a tough house in Lynn. I find it pretty fast. I don't find it to be a tough house, but just like anywhere else, got to hit the headpin in order to succeed.
Yes.
And that's the name of the game. Hit the headpin, hit the object. If you're not doing that, try to pin your way out of it until you make the appropriate adjustments. 17 after 2. This was Nikki's first appearance on television, at least Candlepin bowling wise anyway.
Yes.
And our first half Worcester of the day.
I don't think anybody likes making this shot, or looking at this shot rather.
Ooh. Tried to go outside on that, on the head pin, get the pins moving.
I find it amazing that there's so many times that you have the sleeve.
Oh, what an out.
Oh, what a 10. I should talk more often while Deb's bowling. She seems to interrupt me with great shots.
Yeah.
This is true.
I should have been talking while she was attempting the spare.
I think you should just talk more often in general.
I'll try that next time. But more often than not, people, will hit the head pin, and so in her situation, she hit the right Worcester, so right back on the head pin. And they take out the 1-8, and they're looking at the left check mark and 2 more pins. Like, how do you drive that one pin through and not get more out of it? It's the right idea.
I would think it's got to be frustrating when you're someone like Deb who buries the ball in the pocket and gets the 8-10 to look at. And through the middle that time. Nikki looking at the spread eagle. One thing I would like to mention is my thoughts go out to my stepmother, Tina Bruce, who suffered a heart attack.
Sorry to hear that, Kyle.
Well, thank you. 7-box will...
Was that recent?
That it was, yes. I normally have my dad here with me, but he is with her in Methuen. So my thoughts are certainly with him and with her. Sliding by the head pin that time as we're looking at the 4 horsemen left plus the 8 pin. And a 6-box will put Nikki at 30 after 4.
Deb's up on lane 6. Finishing out our first half.
In the pocket, but cannot break
again.
up the split that
Another
time.
split.
Keep hitting it.
Double wood in front of the
start
4-7.
Will it stay on? No.
No. So whatever she gets here, we're going to do 1 less if you're scoring at home.
$7.
That's a 44 half for Deb here. As we're in the 3rd week of our 4-week ladder series. featuring the women of Candlepin Bowling. So, a series of roll-offs was held here in Amesbury to determine who would be featured on this broadcast. And along with the crew, we're delighted to have you with us to celebrate these fine Candlepin bowlers. Outside on the head pin and nearly...
What a bid. What a bid.
Taking everything but the 8 pin remains.
So both ladies are looking for their first mark.
$10. Right in the 1-3 that time, and Nikki has a spare leave. It's the triangle consisting of the 4, 7, and 8. Ball didn't come back for her. And that's an 8 box. Deb has the early 6-pin advantage.
I'd like to see a mark so badly, I'd give my right eye.
The big 5 lead for Nikki. There's no retort that can follow that observation up. Frank, anything to add?
I think you'd have to cross the T's and dot the lowercase J's.
You know, you really make our 3-person broadcast booth.
Well, thank you, Kyle.
Yes. 8 box for Nikki will make 46 here after 6.
I think it's just a matter of time before these two explode. They're hitting the head pin. They're going to start breaking it up.
Yes, they are hitting the head pin indeed. And there's some action for Deb.
7-pin, but we might be looking at a roadblock here with these.
I'm afraid I suspect the same thing, yeah.
Yes. And there it is.
There it is. That looks like a good spot.
That was a great play by Deb. First mark of the day between our two bowlers.
Going over to lane 6 to fill that spare. Nice in that Brooklyn pocket. Fills the spare with 8. Looking at the 5-9. That would maybe troublesome.
I don't think you can go low on it. I think you have to go high, as if you almost want to hit the cap and drive it straight back.
Yeah, judging by her reaction, I think she wanted to do exactly what you said, Rich. And a 9 bucks. Puts Deb at 81, and Nikki's still searching for her first mark. Big Brooklyn pocket hit, and has the kingpin to negotiate.
The 5 stands proud with the plank right to the right of it.
There it is.
And she is all over it.
Matching Deb's spare in the 7th. Looking very poised for first timer here.
And
fills it with a big bomb. Strike on spare. And
there's no better fill.
This is true. This is Deb Regan.
Slightly off the head pin, takes out the right Worcester in the 6-pin.
Left with the high-low jack for the 10. The pride of the Queen City of the Granite State. didn't know that?
I did not know. I was not aware of that.
Well,
Nice 10.
10.
this is another reason why I'm glad you're here.
Well, thank you.
Yes.
We always need somebody on the show that doesn't know stuff, right?
Well, that's usually me. That's why I'm glad you guys are here.
I see what you're working toward here.
I don't know how to play wood. I don't really know how to bowl, but I can tell you that Deb is looking at the 5, 6, 10 right now. She had this lead before. It is a tough one.
Takes out the 6-10 as expected with that piece of wood that was there. Just looking at the 5-pin for a 10.
And there it is. We talked about pinning, and that's what Deb has done. She finishes the first string with a 101. Nikki is up, filling a strike. First bonus ball.
Half
She's
Worcester
got
right.
another one.
Oh no.
She fills the strike with 4. 1 pin match here. And
That is
that's
a
the
big
ball she
out.
wanted.
Keeps the deficit down to 1 pin with that big 10 box.
Carried a couple of extras there.
Thin on the
Wow.
head pin that time.
You're up 1 pin. You're on 101.
7 bucks for Nikki. 97 for the first string. And after 1, Deb Regan has a 4-pin lead on Nikki McKeever. 101 to 97. We'll be back with our second string right after this timeout.
I'm only 17, but I know about investing. Believe in something, buy shares in it, watch it grow. So, what if you could invest in the future? The future of kids, like a stock. Not the kind of stock that's about making money, but a stock for social change. A whole new kind of investment called Better Futures. When you invest, it helps kids go to college. I could be one of the first college graduates from my family, the first philanthropist from my neighborhood. And if I'm the first, then maybe there's a second and a third. Believe in us, invest in us, watch us grow. My name is Sydney, and I'm your dividend.
Welcome back to Classic Candlepins. Nikki McKeever is our second seed. She's on lane 7, trailing by 4. Just missed the head pin that time, but she got a break, and I believe
Will the
she'll
10 go? No, it will not go.
be looking at the 110.
Oh,
wow.
I don't. Unbelievable.
That's quite a tough break there.
I don't know if you can play it any better than
I
that.
don't think so.
That looks like a 10 box to me.
Yes.
Good looking ball.
Spare leave.
She gets an 8 drop. She leaves the 4-7 up there.
Ooh.
Just slid by the
Just
4.
missed it.
I think he has a high single of 165 and a high triple of 410. And her average is 112. $10.
20 after 2.
Deb Regan has won twice. This is her 3rd week on Classic Candlepins. And she dropped that one.
All things considered, she could have been looking at the half Worcester there, so at least she got 4 out of it.
This is true.
Right on the object.
There's a nice bid here and leaves the 5. $10. Can't break up the split. She has 3-6-10 on the right, 4-7 on the left. No wood to help. Frank, this is your favorite leave, I believe.
Indeed it is.
Yes.
I don't know where you heard that, but
Well,
I'm just going to agree with you there.
maybe I heard it on Alley Chat.
Perhaps. You can check out Candlepin's only Candlepin Bowling's only podcast on the web at frankface.alleychat.net. I think Deb lost that one there.
After 12 boxes, we're all even. Nice looking ball.
Will it go? No, 5 still stands.
I think it's fair to say Nikki has found her footing here.
Yes.
Right on it.
Spare in the 3rd. Fills it with 7.
Well, she must like you. She just saved you a nickel.
We haven't even spoken yet, so I don't know how she would come to that conclusion.
Oh, what a bid.
Nice bid.
Really good idea on that one. Just didn't work.
And score that a 9. Be 46 after 4. Deb will be looking at the 4 horseman right, plus the 8-pin. Not sure how much help that piece of wood will be, but we'll see. Nice bid,
Oh, it goes.
yes!
Ended up being a great help.
Yes.
Came off the sidewall and took out the 8-pin.
Spare in the 3rd. Light hit, carries 6. Three, 5, 7, 10. Tough shot. No help there. And score that a 9. That'll put Deb at 41. So Nikki has a 1-pin lead. Nice ball.
And it goes for a
And
strike.
another strike. Her second strike of the match. First bonus ball. And a half
Lightning
Worcester.
strikes twice.
Yes. filled with 5, which gives Nikki a 61.5 here.
6 for you.
Nice out.
Great 10 box for Nikki.
Nice looking ball and the 5 pin. Yes. No. Caught the cap that time.
She did.
That was an unfortunate piece of wood. You'd think that it would help. Widen the target a little bit. Didn't work out in her favor.
It's a 10 box. Puts Deb at 51.
Sometimes it's one of those situations where you should take a second and think about it, even though you really don't need to.
Off the head pin that time. Got a break. She's looking at 1, 3, and 10.
The lead right now is 6 for Nikki coming into this box.
Nice shot.
That makes a great spare.
Her second spare of the second string.
Nikki's on 6 after box.
Nikki has the 4 horsemen left plus the 8 pin. Piece of wood between the 2 and 4. I have to think that's only going to help. Just slid by that head pin. Frank, what are we going to hear on the next episode of Alley Chat?
We're going to be talking about the winter bracket, that New England knockout bracket that Nick Cephalato, who has bowled on this show before.
That he has, yes. He was the number 1 seed.
Yes, yes. He's running a bracket starting February 15th through mid-April, I think. 40, Rich, are there 48 bowlers?
Yes.
48 bowlers. So, well, Rich and I were brave enough to fill out brackets and talk about them on the air. So, we'll see where we end up with that.
I understand I got a preview of this, and you predict that you yourself will actually win it all.
Right, because
Yes.
I'm bowling righty from now on.
Correct, yes. That's an adjustment that you've made. Deb is filling a spare in the 6th. That's a nice looking ball.
Sure is.
Put her at 69. Double wood on that 610. There it is. Back-to-back marks for Deb Regan.
3rd spare of the string. 4th overall.
They're still falling.
Carried an extra there.
6 is the fill. 1, 2, 7, 10.
Deb's now up 9 in the match.
Just outside of the head pin. Couldn't carry the 2 and the 10. And a 9 box will put Deb at 94. So the lead is 9. Let's see what Nikki can do to close out this second string. 5 pins standing. 1, 2, 5, 8, 9. Oh, Good bid, left the 8.
Looked like it was good all the way down there. Just didn't have the result that she was hoping for.
10 bucks.
Nice 10.
Puts her at 99. Little heavy on the head pin. And she'll have a...
Oh, she breaks up the split.
Got a break.
Look at that.
247. And an 8 box for a 107.
It's looking at 204 after 2.
And Deb is the 247.
She wants that wood to tighten up and freeze against the pin, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, I would hesitate to play it.
Yeah.
Nice
It works
shot.
for her. Great.
Deb has her 4th mark of string number 2 in our semifinal. Puts her at 104, and remember Nikki was open. So we'll add to her lead. Light hit looking at the diamond. Three, 5, 6, 9.
Lead is now 15.
Tough shot.
I almost find it's most effective to, as if you were almost going to plow the Worcester. It seems like the front pin splits and it takes it out. Very often you make the triangle and leave the back pin.
That's a 10 box and a 120 second string, which will put Deb at 221, so a 17 pin lead going into the 3rd and final string of our semifinal match. Deb Regan's at 221, Nikki McKeever 204. We'll step away and be back for the 3rd and final string right after this timeout.
And then from this angle, it all makes a star.
I'm a teacher. Let me tell you what I make. I make learning a privilege, not a chore.
Show up
And frustration,
absorb
a
what people
tool,
are giving you.
not an obstacle.
It's a
I make working hard seem easy and giving up impossible.
And then we're gonna turn the lights and everybody look up.
I make an old subject feel like a fresh thought.
finally won. What's your reaction gonna be? Yeah, exactly.
And unconventional methods
Okay, what else?
common.
Little tadpoles, the frogs, the spiders. This is their world.
There's nothing.
And then they die. Go ahead, go, go, go.
I'm a teacher. I make more.
Deb Regan is up to start our 3rd string of our semifinal matchup on Classic Candlepins. She leads by 17. She's on lane 7. She's looking at 4 horsemen right plus the 7-8. That's a rather unconventional leave.
Yeah, with the 5 pin missing, you'd expect it to have a little bit more action. Take something else out.
And score that at 9. Deb will be looking at 4 horsemen left plus the 8 and the 10. the horseman, see what happens.
Yes.
Wow, she managed to kick the 8-pin over, but it wasn't lined up correctly to hit the 10-pin, unfortunately.
I feel like the wood may have cost her on that.
Definitely. Definitely, with it being parallel to the pit.
Yes.
10 box. This is Nikki McKeever. She's down by 17. She's our number 2 seed here of our 4-week ladder series.
And what a ball that is.
The 6-pin.
That was explosive.
Yes. That's the way you want to start. With a mark working.
I believe that's Nikki's 3rd single pin spare today.
I trust your calculations.
She's 3 for 3. You're absolutely right.
Bonus.
Look at this.
Wow. And a strike on spare.
That's her 2nd strike fill on the spare for today.
That is correct. Yes.
So that'll likely change things here.
Lead is down to 6 pins. Plus the fill.
Deb's a veteran. She knows how to respond when the pressure's on, especially in the 3rd and final string. A little heavy on number 1 that time. It's an 8 box.
A good out of that.
And breaks up the split. And she'll be looking at 3-6-10.
Yes.
Nice shot.
Spare in the 4th. Let's see what Nikki can do here. Spare on strike to start the 3rd string. And she's got a break that time. Fills it with 6. And I don't know what I'm doing.
That's a 9 fill, Kyle.
Yes, thank you.
And a great bid for the spare.
Yes.
Makes the 10 box.
It's 49. The lead is gone. 1 pin. Another nice looking ball. I think it's time for that duck soup here.
Yes.
Matching spares in the 4th.
Nikki's got a 5-pin lead now after box is completed.
It's an unusual configuration.
Yes.
2, 4, 9, and 10.
That vertical piece of wood should help as long as something hits the 9-pin.
And what a shot.
Back-to-back spares for Deb.
Good call, Rich, on that wood helping.
That's why you're here, providing your expert analysis. And Deb will fill that Spare with 5, which will put her at 58 at the halfway point of our third string. And outside that time.
It's hard to get 3 out of that. Looks like she had a chance of only punching the 1.
Yes.
10 bucks.
It's always
68.
It's always comforting when you can make the most out of the fill. You know, that ends up being a 5 fill because she gets the 10 bucks, as opposed to having a 5 fill with a 9 or an 8. So she gets the full effect of the fill, which is good.
Another good-looking ball.
You're down 6. Box is complete. You have 4.
Nikki for the spare.
Oh!
What a bid.
Right in front of the 7-pin. Didn't think there was any room there. So Nikki, by my calculations, has a 75 half. No big deal. In the pocket and a light hit. Diamond left plus the 10.
She's up a single pin right now after box is completed.
I have it being even.
Oh, you're correct.
$9. 84. Deb takes back the lead. 4 boxes to go. Stirring conclusion to our semifinal match. We're glad to have you with us. Oh boy.
You don't cough up that nickel, I'll bust your hip.
It's already busted.
Left-
2, 4, 5,
Left
7.
check mark.
That
Will she
looks
make
pretty
it?
good.
I think these last 4 boxes are definitely going to come down to pinning.
$8 puts Deb at 76. Thought that 6-pin was going to go, but a piece of wood pushed it over. The big 5.
I think that actually lined up better because it pushed the pin further back so they're closer together.
Oh.
There wasn't that much room, I thought, between the 2 and that piece of wood that was on the 6. So Deb will be open the in the 7th and 8th. That was a 6 box, and that puts Deb at 82.
And here's an opportunity for Nikki.
No question. Right in the pocket that time. But the corners are full.
For those of you at home, you should be able to hear the Hall of Fame voices of Nance Vestal and Janet Pock in the background, taking in this match.
Matching 8 boxes in the 7th. Deb with a 1-pin lead, but Nikki's opposite a 6 box, so here's an opportunity to really put some pressure.
Pressure or breathing room, you know, gives you a little room for error if you can make a spare or a 10 out of this.
A good bid.
And it's all even right now. $8. Puts her at 100 right now.
Up a pin. Deb's going to have to work for one here.
For our entire crew, Rich LIMONE, Frank DeLuca, I'm Kyle Bruce. And this is Deb Regan on lane 7, who has a triangle right, 6, 9, and 10. No wood to help. This is big.
This is huge.
No.
No.
Eight box, 90. Deb wants to put a markup on lane 6 here.
Got to force Nikki to get one anyway.
The Worcester left.
And through the hole. This is the time where you want to take as many pins as possible. And that's a 6 box. 317.
That is correct. Deb finishes with a 96 and a 317 total.
Right in the pocket, the solid 7 pin. Nikki right now is at 304.
And again, another single pin spare.
Your math is good, sir.
Back in the pocket, and she fills the spare with 6. 5, 7, 8, 9. But Nikki McKeever wins our semi-final match. Moves on. 8 box, 124. Now 328.
Yep.
So that'll do it for semi-final week on Classic Candlepins. Nikki McKeever moves on to face our number 1 seed Tina Ward next week. Our final, Nikki McKeever 328, Deb Regan 317. We'll be back to talk to our bowlers right after this timeout.
I'm only 17, but I know about investing. Believe in something, buy shares in it, watch it grow. So, what if you could invest in the future? The future of kids, like a stock. Not the kind of stock that's about making money, but a stock for social change. A whole new kind of investment called Better Futures. When you invest, it helps kids go to college. I could be one of the first college graduates from my family, the first philanthropist from my neighborhood. And if I'm the first, then maybe there's a second and a third. Believe in us, invest in us, watch us grow. My name is Sydney, and I'm your dividend.
Welcome back to Classic Candlepins, the conclusion of our semifinal week here, our 4-week ladder series featuring the women of Candlepin bowling. And Deb, what are you doing?
I'm looking at my socks. They don't match.
Danny, can you get a shot of Deb's socks?
Did you bowl in your socks today?
I had these on. They were lucky to begin with, but then they just... I do? It's just a little on. It's fine.
Well, maybe that could be why that you won 2 matches and almost won a third here today.
Could be.
Yes. Well,
Or it could be that I needed oxygen by the time I got to like that last. That's why I kept saying, how many more? How many more boxes do we have?
I thought that third string there was was excellent. It was as I said earlier, it was a stirring conclusion. Nikki made a run, and you did your best to try to keep up with her. And after winning those previous 2 matches, I thought it was tremendous.
Yeah, and I was getting a little bit tired, and I thought to myself in that last couple blocks, just throw one strike. You haven't thrown one all day. Just throw a strike. And I didn't have anything left, and Nikki was still throwing a nice ball. She threw a nice ball through the whole thing. We both missed a couple of things. I missed a bunny. I hate shots with wood in back of them. Give me a single all day long, but I hate something in back of my pin. So she bowled great, and I was tired. I'm old, and I was tired. It was really I was puffing wind by the end. I'm like, I need to break. I need to stop. So, yeah, I'm happy with the way I bowled. Yeah.
Good. Well, you climbed your way up the ladder all day. You did very well.
Yeah, I was happy with it.
Very good.
Yeah.
Thank you, Deb. I appreciate you bowling today.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Deb Regan, everybody.
Thanks.
Please. Nikki McKeever's our winner for the semifinal matchup. Do you also have special socks today?
No. Well, they're my daughter's socks with butterflies on them.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, they're special.
So now we know the secret to your good bowling.
Yes, yes.
I thought you really came on that 3rd string there with that 75 half. Actually, I thought you threw a great ball all day. Was there a specific adjustment that you made?
No, I just continued to throw the same ball I was throwing the whole time because I thought I was throwing a good ball.
I would agree.
Nikki, you were 4 for 4 today on single pin spares. A lot of bowlers would debate that that's the hardest spare to make. What do you have to say?
Typically, it is for me. I'm usually awful at hitting 9-pin drives, but today I was right on.
Yeah, I think that made the difference in your match today.
We've had some technical difficulties, but I wasn't going to acknowledge them until just now. But in any event, it'll be the finals for our ladder championship featuring the women of Candlepin Bowling. Next week, our top seed, Tina Ward, will face Nikki McKeever. Are you excited for that?
Yes, I am.
Well, I know that I am, and I know that Frank is too. For our entire crew, I'm Kyle Bruce. We'll see you next week on Classic Candlepins.
All right, and that's how our semifinal match ends, with Nikki McKeever defeating Deb Regan 328 to 317. And Frank DeLuca, this was a match in which Deb Regan had certainly had the advantage in that 3rd string, and Nikki McKeever had to give a 75 half in that 3rd string. I believe she went strike on spare and filled the strike with 9. And
absolutely, to start out, and she really battled. She didn't give up. She seemed very confident. Seemed like she almost couldn't miss what she was shooting for. She bowled very well.
She throws a nice ball too, breaking from right to left. Got some good mixing action. I believe she threw 3 strikes on the day, 9 marks total. So going into the championship week, going against Tina Ward, that should be pretty awesome.
I think so. We anticipate a very high-scoring match between the two of them, and we'll see what happens.
Well, I can't wait for it. I know Frank's very excited about it. I'm sure you are too. Championship Saturday is next week. Tina Ward, our #1 seed, will face Nikki McKeever. For our entire crew, my name is Kyle Bruce. We'll see you next week on Classic Candlepins.